Hi, good morning. It's morning, but it kind of feels more like afternoon to me. It's the day of my least favorite day, daylight savings, where I guess we've fallen backwards, but in St. Croix we don't celebrate, or I guess we just don't do daylight savings, so it's actually 11 o'clock here, which just occurred to me this morning. So welcome, whatever time it is for you. Hi, Eric. It's also the day after Halloween, which is really interesting. I love these sort of like Hallmark holidays that are usually based in some sort of history or some other tradition, because it's a good reminder to reflect. I love researching like what they mean, what it's about. So I looked up a little bit about Halloween. Last night was also a full moon, and it was also a blue moon, which means we have a full moon twice in the same month. And yesterday also was near the end of the month, so it sort of was like a nice bookend for this full moon, which I thought was really interesting. Halloween is All Hallows Eve, and it was originally celebrated as a Celtic festival of Samhain, which was a time to honor the dead. They also thought that day, All Hallows Eve, was the day between the harvest or sort of like the end of summer and the beginning of like the cold and the winter. So I guess in the Celtic tradition, based on what I've read on a few different websites, it was very esoteric and mystical, because it was like this transitory time. Spirits would come out, so they would sort of like dress up as spirits, light bonfires outside, and sort of like invite in or ask for whatever they needed for the spirits, whatever they needed for this like long cold winter. So I thought that was like an interesting intersection of like the blue moon, the full moon on a Halloween, and Halloween itself. And then thinking about how we celebrate Halloween now, sort of in modern times. Halloween for me means seeing a lot of like pictures of my friends and my colleagues' children, dressing up. Perhaps it feels a little bit more joyous. It feels like this act of, or a ritual of like putting on a costume, a time where you can experience being someone else or being something else. It's also a time where people can experience sort of like the darkness, like the grotesque. Like my little nephew dressed up as Dracula, and he put like blood on his teeth. And he was one of the few folks in my family who dressed up as something more dark. And so I think it's like a time for us to sort of experience that and live in that space. And it's also a time for creativity. So when we put on a mask, when we dress up as something else, an animal, a cat, a sexy witch, what have you, like we can step into that place, and it's a safe place to explore and experiment and express ourselves. So for today in class, with all those things considered, I wanted us to sort of play with our imagination. Like, who do we imagine ourselves to be? Like, what world are we imagining? What are we inviting in? Thinking about the full moon as a space and a time to invite in whatever seeds we've planted at the full moon. Because it's rare that we let ourselves play, especially when things feel a little bit heavy or more gray. We sort of forget our imagination, this playfulness. So I wanted us to do that a little bit today. We'll do a little bit of back bending, which for me gets me up into like the upper part of my body, more into my imagination. Maybe we'll do a little bit with our third eye. But yeah, that's sort of what's coming up for me. So we'll get right into it in a child's pose. If you have blocks, you can grab them. I actually forgot mine outside the room, so I might cue you guys with them. Maybe I will. We'll start in our child's pose. So take your knees wide, stretch the arms out in front of you. Take the center of the forehead down, and I want you to just feel that pressure on the third eye center. If you do have your block, this would be a good place to use it right underneath the forehead. allowing the head to sort of rest on your block. And then I want you to allow the hips to rock gently side to side. So really massaging that third eye center. And just use the power of your imagination here. And I want you to think about what you're inviting in. Think about what you would like to see for this next month, right? We're starting off November. We're heading into the back end of the year. Use your imagination. And I want us to sort of be at ease with whatever comes up in this imagination. There might be things that we like, maybe there are things that we don't like, but we're grounding ourselves, we're rooting ourselves down here in this present moment. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And whatever you're inviting in, I want you to sort of see yourself in that picture. Allow it to be creative. Allow it to be unbounded. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And a big sigh out the mouth. Draw yourself more into your body. Stretch the arms out in front of you. Lift the center of the palms. Come onto the fingertips here. So you're long in your child's pose. Take one more deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Lift your head up just a little bit. Walk your hands over to the right. Take the center of your chest over towards your right knee and just stretch the body long. So you're stretching through your left ribs. You're reaching the fingertips away from you. Take a deep breath in and out. Go ahead and take both of your hands towards center and walk both of the hands over to the left. Lift the chest up so you're sort of over the left knee. Reach the right fingertips away from you. Let the side of your body stretch long away from the right waist. If you have your block, you can put it underneath your forehead so your head doesn't just dangle. Take a breath in and out. Take your hands back to center. Come up onto your hands and knees, and right away as you exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips down and face it up. Pedaling out the feet here. Stretching the backs of the legs, shake your head. Every time I shake my head, it reminds me of sort of like a horse shaking their head. So if your shape invokes a feeling or a reminder of something else, allow yourself to just go there, bring that to your mind. Take a deep breath in. Flutter your lips as you exhale. Now seal the lips, take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Walk your feet up towards your hands. We're coming up towards the front of our mat. I want you to bend your knees, come onto your fingertips. Once your feet come up towards the front of your mat, bend your knees a lot, grab opposite elbows, let your head hang. Shake your head yes and no. Allow your chest to sway very gently left and right. Shift the weight a little bit forward into the balls of the feet and then back into your heels. Almost like a pendulum swinging here for a moment. And then I want you to find center. So find all four corners of your feet grounding down. Switch the grip on the elbows or the wrists. Release the neck so that your head can be fully relaxed. The neck can just dangle. palms come to your shins, keeping that sort of relaxed feel in your neck. Look forward, pull the shoulders back, find that hint of a back bend here. Big breath in. On your exhale, fold yourself down. Keeping your hands as they are, roll yourself up just one vertebrae at a time, letting your head be super heavy, so the chin is towards the chest and then the head comes all the way up at the top. Take a breath in, roll the shoulders up, together, back and down. One more like this. Shoulders up, together, back and down. Really, really nice. Keep your feet separated, hip distance apart. Roll the shoulders back and down. Stand up nice and tall, so we're in Tadasana, or mountain pose. And this is where I feel like the power of the imagination can really help us embody these shapes. Close your eyes for a moment and let yourself embody the qualities of a mountain. Steady and strong. Stable. Resilient. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Blink your eyes open. Take your arms up, reach up, stretch up overhead. On your exhale, soften the knees a little bit, fold right back down. Drop your head at the bottom. Inhale. Lift your chest. Your palms can go to your shins, or if you've got blocks, hands can go there. Look forward. Exhale, hands to the floor. We're working our moon salutations. Step the left leg back. You're in a low lunge. Hands go flat. Step your right leg back. We're heading straight into downward facing dog. Keeping your toes tucked. As you inhale, come all the way forward to upward facing dog. But toes are tucked, thighs are lifted. Open your heart. It's the Iyengar up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, step the right foot forward. You're in a low lunge. Inhale, step that left foot forward. Keep your feet hip distance. Exhale, fold, drop your head to the bottom. Breathe and stand all the way up. Reach your arms up, look up, stretch up. Exhale, fold yourself right back down. On your inhale, step that right leg back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg steps back. Keeping your toes tucked, wave it forward, upward facing dog. Open through the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. Keep your hips square, left toes point down. Exhale, step that foot forward. Inhale, step the right foot forward. The feet stay hip distance. Exhale, fold at the front of your mat. Breathe and stand all the way up. We're doing it again. We're adding on. Exhale, fold right back down. Inhale, step that right leg back. This time on your exhale, tap the knee down, point the toes. Inhale, take your arms up, Anjaneyasana, just for this one breath in. Exhale, hands come back, tuck the toes, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, wave it forward, upward facing dog. Legs are strong, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg high, breathe in. Exhale, step the right foot next to the right thumb. On your inhale, straighten out your right leg. Look forward, keep the back heel lifted. Exhale, fold, wide leg period. Breathe and rebend that right knee, look forward. Exhale, step that back foot forward, fold, drop the head. Stand all the way up, take a big breath in, look up, stretch up, reach up. Exhale, fold right back down. Inhale, step your left leg back, tap the knee down, point the toes. Breathe in, reach up, arms up, stretch up. Exhale, take your hips back, downward facing dog. I know that was longer than a second. My phone's having malfunction. Lift your left leg up, down dog split, the left leg is high. Exhale, step that left foot forward for your low lunge. Come onto the finger tops as you inhale. Straighten out your left leg just as best as you can. The back heel is lifted. Exhale, fold over your left shin. Breathe and rebend that left knee, look forward. Exhale, step to the front of your mat and fold. Inhale, stand all the way up, reach the arms up, look up, stretch up. On this one, exhale, lower your hands down, stand nice and tall, Tadasana, really, really nice work. Move your big toes to touch. As you inhale, chair pose, bend your knees, the arms go up. Exhale, hands come together in front of your heart. Take a twist to the right. Hook the left elbow in front of that right thigh. Maybe you look over the right shoulder, but maybe you look straight out. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Take a big breath in and out. One more, breathe in. Exhale. Take it up back to center. Really, really nice. Keep the hips low. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. You're twisting to the left. Hook the right elbow on that left thigh. Take a deep breath in and out. One more full breath in through the nose. Exhale. Take it up to center. Chair pose. Exhale. Oof, let it go. Hands come down. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Just take your hands right outside of your feet, fingertips pointing towards the back, fingernails down towards the mat, and take a stretch to the wrists. If it's accessible for you, you could step on your hands, so just sliding your hands underneath your feet, bending the elbows back towards the side so you get a little bit of a stretch in the wrists. Take a deep breath in and out. Two more, breathe in. Breathe out. Final breath in through the nose. Exhale. Nice. Okay, step off of your hands, and I just want you to jump back into a downward facing dog. So without thinking too much, right, we're gonna get spry. We'll just bend our knees and jump our feet back. Soft knees when you land. Or you could step back, no problem. Take a big breath in. Lift your right leg high. Exhale, step that right foot next to the right thumb. Ground the back heel down, reach that left arm up, spiral open, warrior two. Take a big breath in, straighten out that front leg. Exhale, reach the right fingertips forward and then down, right hand to your shin, left arm reaches up. You're in a triangle pose. Take a big breath in, turn your chest here. Big breath out. So it's hard to see with my shirt a little bit baggy, but I want you to think about making some length on this bottom side, right? We're embodying this geometric shape, the triangle. How can we have clean, sharp edges? And how do we make ourselves, I want to say perfectly proportionate for ourselves? So whatever our body size and body length is, how do we make our triangle a series of overlapping triangles? So matching the length that our body needs to be symmetrical. Take two more breaths here, finding a little bit more length wherever you are. Last breath in and out. All right, look down towards the floor, bend that front knee, flip the right palm, reach up and back, reverse warrior. Exhale, take your hands down inside of that front foot. You're gonna lift the back heel, scooch the front foot all the way out towards the edge of the mat. Tap that back knee down. Now, use padding behind the back knee if you'd like. Option to come down on the fingertips or put some blocks underneath the hands to give yourself a little bit more lift. We're gonna just take our right hand to the thigh and turn our chest. You could stay here, or You could reach the arm up, get your full wingspan, or reach back, grab for that foot. Yeah, give yourself that turn. You can also come down on the elbow. You've got lots of options here for you to experiment, to be creative, to imagine. So it's really nice about practicing at home. You don't have to ask permission, you just give yourself what you need. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. And it's actually true of any yoga class, right? Like the yoga teacher is a guide for you. And while I think it's nice to respect a teacher, you're the one in your own body. It's good to know what you need and adjust, right? Like there's no point in torturing ourselves just so that the teacher that you're paying feels good for you. Take one more big breath in and out. Really, really nice. Okay, release that foot. If you're down on your elbows or somewhere else, let's come back up onto our palms. Tuck your back toes, lift the knee. Shift a little bit of the weight forward and backwards. We're actually going to step back to our plank pose. Our big toes are touching. Tap that back knee down. Turn your chest. And before you come right into your modified side plank, let's find a little bit of a stretch here. So the back heel is down. Come onto the left fingertips and really round your spine here. Drop your head. Lift up out of that right shoulder. For me, this is almost like a stretch to the back of my right shoulder. The back of my QL, you could reach a little bit, and then circle that left arm all the way up. So you're in a modified side plank, really, really nice. From here, you could stay or hover that back foot up, and then, since this was the shape we just took, if it feels okay for you, you could reach back and grab the foot. Kick your foot into your hand and find more of that back bend here. Take 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last breath in through the nose. Exhale. Really nice. Release the foot if you have it. We'll just hover that foot down. Come back into our plank shape. Strong legs here. Exhale, lower all the way down one straight line. Going through the toes. Lift your chest. Low cobra. Exhale. Tuck your toes. Move your seat back. Lift your hips up. Downward facing. Lift your left leg high, breathe in. Exhale, step the left foot forward next to your left thumb. Ground the back heel down, spiral yourself open, warrior 2. Straighten that left leg, take a breath in. Exhale, left fingertips reach towards the front, cut your hips back. Left hand comes down to your shin, right arm reaches up, triangle pose. Yeah, so make your legs firm and try and turn your chest. Do your best to find length all over your body, and then I want you to breathe into that length, right? All the way from the center of your chest through the periphery, right? Through the fingertips, the legs, the arms. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Last one, breathe in. Exhale. Look down towards the floor. Bend that front knee, flip the palm, reach up and back, reverse warrior. Exhale, take both hands down inside of that front foot. You're going to scooch that foot out to the side and take this lizard shape. Tap the back knee down. Take that left hand to your thigh. You get a little bit of a turn here. Stay here if this feels great. Or take any of the other variations that we were trying. So you could put your elbow down, you could take a twist, you might even grab for the foot. Oh, it's like, where's my foot? Really, really nice. And in this lizard shape, regardless of where you are, it's like, for whatever reason, keeping our legs in our bodies in this shape invokes the feeling of a lizard. Someone also told me it feels a bit like a spider. And so I want you to just like, use your imagination here. What does this bring to mind? What is this shape invoking in your body? I can also go with like a cricket vibe here. Kind of feels that way with your legs folded up. Sing. Take one more big breath in and out. Release that back foot. Go ahead and take both hands to the front of your mat. Pick up your back knee. You're on your palms. Step back to a plank pose. You're in a firm plank pose. Tap the left knee down so the knee is underneath the hip. Ground the right heel down and then just lift up onto the right fingertips. Drop your head and just round your spine. Press into your left palm so that you can feel that full cat spine here. Drop your head. And if you need to move the fingertips away from you to feel that stretch a little bit, and then hover the fingertips up, reach the arm towards the front of the room, and then all the way overhead for your modified side plank. Nice. You could even roll through the wrists. Sometimes that feels good. Option to hover that right foot up. You could stay here. This is a really nice glute exercise, sort of like outside of your hip, outside glute. Or if you're going for that same bent knee shape, you could grab the foot and kick more into your back. You've got a few breaths here, wherever you are. One more big breath in through the nose. And out. Release that foot. Circle the right arm back down. We're going to meet in plank. So firm up your plank. Make your plank really, really strong. Legs are strong. Every part of your body is responsible for lifting itself. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down. Take your hands off onto your floor. Chin comes towards chest. We're going to do a little bit of a rolling cobra pose here. Press the tops of your feet down. Yeah, lift the head, your chest, and then the ribs up. Exhale, lower down like a wave. Two more like this. Breathe in. Full stretch through the front side of your body. Exhale, lower down like a wave. Last one. As big of a back bend as you would like. We lift the head, the chest, our ribs, and maybe our bellies a little bit. Exhale. Keep pressing the tops of the feet down. Forehead comes down. Really, really nice. Hands onto the floor. Keep your knees down. Press your hips back. We're going to stand up on our shins. So once your hips are back, we're standing up on our shins. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Toes can be tucked here for a little bit more support. I want you to think about lifting up your lower belly. And then maybe you press the hands on the lower back. Lift the chest straight up. Take a breath in. Exhale, arch the top part of your spine. If it feels okay on your back, you'll just release your hands and grab for the heels of your feet. If it feels fine for you, you can drop your head back. Take deep, full breaths. Take one more big breath in. Take your chin towards your chest. Exhale, point your toes, and you may sit on your blocks. Sit your butt back. We're going to rest in Vajrasana for a few seconds. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Blink your eyes open. Come to your hands and knees, and then lift your knees, lift your legs downward facing dog. And come all the way forward to our plank shape. Exhale, lower all the way down to our bellies. We're going to flip over onto our backs. Finish with a little back bending on our backs before we do a little bit of rest. So on your backs, you can windshield wiper your knees. Taking your time here. I also like to do this thumping action, so you could lift your pelvis and just sort of like thump your sacrum on the mat. That sort of helps to like stabilize everything, gets all my joints together. If that doesn't feel good for you, then you can skip that. We're coming into just a regular bridge pose, so keep your heels close enough your fingertops can reach them. Press down into your hips. Lift your hips up, interlace hands underneath you, or grab for the edges of your mat. Either option is beautiful. Press the hips up. Yeah, use your glutes and the backs of your legs here. And maybe even press down through the feet and drag your heels back so you really feel the legs versus the lower back activating. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. Exhale. Release whatever grip you have. Lower yourself down. Windshield wiper your knees. So we'll do one more back bend. You can either do a bridge pose like we just did, or if you're feeling ready for it, we could take a full wheel. So for bridge pose, same thing we just did. Press down through the feet, lift your hips, interlace hands underneath you. For your full wheel, the hands go back by your ears. Fingertips point towards your shoulders. And then a few common mistakes I see, hands too close together. So your hands shouldn't really be like adjacent to your ears. Your hands should be shoulder distance apart, maybe a little wider. In most of the shapes that we do, wider is easier. So especially if you're like tall or bigger, or like you just want more space, just take your hands a little wider, no problem. We don't need to be all crunched up and tiny. Take your feet hip distance. We want to keep our feet parallel to the floor. Press down into your hands and then lift up just the top of your head. Now notice if your elbows are like kind of doing the chicken wing out to the side, get your elbows right above your wrists, and from here it's almost like you're lifting something overhead. You'll just lift your chest up. Now notice if there's tension in the wrists or the shoulders or anywhere else. Those are all things that we can adjust. You can walk your hands closer to your feet for a less sharp angle in the wrists. Try and press your hips higher. Release your neck. Take deep, full breaths. As many breaths as you can take, or like 5 or less, just to be more specific. I'm going to do 2 more. Take my chin towards my chest and I lower myself down. We're all going to meet in constructive rest. So take your feet wide, rest your knees together. One hand can be on your belly, one hand on your chest. Blink your eyes closed. And allow yourself to just feel the support of the floor. Imagine that you're sitting in a hammock or in some sort of net. Sometimes I like to imagine like a catamaran net. It's perfect temperature, it's cool, you're wonderfully supported. And let yourself completely relax and be at ease. Allow the breath to slow and the creases around your eyes to soften and smooth away. Blink your eyes open. Take your hands forward, cup your kneecaps, move your knees in little circles. Knees can move in big circles, change directions whenever you're ready. Reach your legs up towards the ceiling, grab behind your thighs. Move your ankles in circles here. Yeah, just express the fullness of your ankles. Move your toes a little bit. We'll just take this right into happy baby. So bend your knees, grab for the outside edges of your feet. Get this last little bit of like hip opening and movement going. Soften through your shoulders. And yeah, after all of that, with a long supported forward fold. So grab behind your knees, rock and roll up your spine. I'm just gonna turn around so you can see me, but you guys can stay in whatever direction feels good. I want you to take your legs away from you, bend your knees, you flex your toes. You have those blocks, like you'll just flex your toes and put the blocks or your props in between your knees and just take a supported forward fold as a closing posture. So allowing yourself to pull in after, using the creativity of our imagination, after doing all that back bending, which is really about connecting and expressing. We want to balance that with a little bit of grounding to keep us on earth. So with your knees bent, maybe you reach your toes, maybe you don't, but I do want you to support your head. I'm going to support my head with my knees, and we're going to take 8 to 10 breaths here. Your spine can totally be rounded. I want your head to be relaxed and the breath to be slow. Closing the eyes even to pull inward. Using each breath to find a little bit of space. Really nice. Moving at your own pace whenever you're ready. We're going to transition to Shavasana. So sit yourself up. Come to the center of your mat. Flop your legs open. Roll yourself down. I like to use my hands when I roll down and bend my knees a little bit. Turn your palms up and just blink your eyes closed for the next 4 minutes. We'll allow ourselves to just rest and be at ease. No need to keep track of the breath. Release whatever you're doing later today, whatever plans, whatever meals, and just let yourself be in this moment. Let yourself embody this practice of conscious relaxation. deepen your breath. Let your head fall to one side and then the other side. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Let yourself take a stretch. And then taking your time, you'll just come to sit up, finding a nice tall seat. Exhale the air out. Take a deep breath in and out. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was so nice to have you in class and all the folks who passed by. I hope everyone had a safe Halloween and did something fun and celebrated or didn't celebrate in their own way. Hasina, I hope you're doing well. Steven, Eric, so nice to see y'all. Send me a message if you want to say hi. Yeah, oh, the horse. Right? I always think of that. And then whenever they say flutter your lips, like, I'm like, yo, this is a horse. And like, I'm surprised no one else has ever mentioned that. But yeah, I will see you all next Sunday. We'll talk soon. Thanks.